And that's certainly where we begin. Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane says he'll appoint an independent law firm to investigate what led to the drowning of 2 pupils from Daveyton Skills School. The pair drowned in the Hennops River in Centurion on Monday during a school camp held by non-governmental organization The Rising Stars Generation. We're told 90 pupils were part of this initiative. SABC News reporter Nozintombi Miya has more.
For Gauteng has just given a brief about the circumstances surrounding the tragedy that occurred where 2 young learners drowned at a school excursion, and he gave a little bit more detail about what it is that had taken place and the steps that the education department is going to be taking to ensure such instances do not occur again, and to put safeguards to ensure the safety of the children on these school trips. And he joins me now to talk to me about this incident. MEC, yet another tragedy. This is now the second incident that's taken place where learners drowned while on an excursion. This is a very difficult situation that it puts you in, MEC.
No, it is really, because we can't lose children the way we're losing children. So it's always difficult for the department when we receive such news that we have lost our child through drowning or any other form, because that's not their intention, really. So it's always difficult for the department.
What punitive measures have been put in place, or are you going to be putting in place? You spoke to us about the law firm that you have been putting in place.
Yes, definitely. Look, the law firm gives us a full context as to what would have happened. From the inception of the trip to the end, to the period when the kids, when they drowned, what happened, who was there, additional information that we need. For instance, if maybe the educator said, go and find your friend, or something, so we need to get concrete information that what had happened. So the law firm will assist us with that. And also, from time to time, they bring a set of recommendations as to what else can we put in place to ensure that these incidents don't occur again. But what is important, and what I want to labor on, is that our schools need to really follow the process fully. And we've got a standard operating procedure in place, and they know. And they really have to follow it. They should avoid being adventurous. They should avoid short-circuiting the process, and they should also avoid to assume that if there are things that they would have put in place to safeguard themselves, they are safe. No, it doesn't work like that, because when you don't have a report as to why the child is not at home, it eliminates everything that you assume would have put in place, to safeguard the school. Yeah. So that's what is important for us.
You spoke about a preliminary findings that you have already. In those preliminary findings, you spoke about immediate suspensions. Who's going to be suspended?
No, there will be obviously we're looking at obviously the school leadership. So we'll have to serve them first, but yes, we are in the process today. We will be acting upon a couple of educators so far.
So it's a no-nonsense approach that you're taking in this instance to act as a deterrent against something like this happening. I mean, it's absolutely shocking that there were no educators on the trip.
Yes, definitely. There were no educators. The trip was not sanctioned. Nobody knew that the kids are gone, and 90 kids, anything, it could have been worse. A classic case of a criminal not being caught. If nothing had happened, we would not have known that, we had 90 kids who have left, would have known afterwards. Yeah. So we want to act, and I want to urge schools, don't do that. As soon as you do that, even if nothing happens, we find out that there was a trip that was not sanctioned, we will act on you anyway. Because you have not followed the process. They really need to begin to follow process and put measures in place as we are expecting them to. Yeah.
Let me see, before I let you go, I mean, going forward, long term, there have been suggestions that the kids who do go on these excursions where there's a water body are taught how to swim or given swimming lessons. Is this something that is feasible with all the problems in education? This is one additional other preventative measure that's supposed to be put on, or are we saying that no more school trips for these kids at all?
It's feasible. Look, swimming is a life skill, you know, and it's not a privilege. So we have within the department one of our programs, our multi-certification, where we're teaching kids from grade 1 to 3 how to swim. So this is part of the long-term preventative measure we put in place. But also schools, they do have capacity, internal capacity. If there's challenges, obviously, we'll need to look at it, where we then continue, we teach our children how to swim. You know, everybody needs to swim, because if you look at the statistics of how many learners we lose, especially learners with special educational needs, we have found that over 30% of learners we lose, they die because of drowning with kids with special educational needs, and that is statistics. So for a school such as this one, they should know that water is the biggest, you know, take of life for learners with special educational needs. So we do have programs in place to ensure that we get our learners to learn how to swim. Very soon, everybody will learn how to swim.
Thank you. MEC, we'll leave it there. I know you have a busy schedule today, so I'm going to let you go. MEC of Gauteng Education giving us just additional insight, key takeaways from what he's just spoken about now, talking about immediate suspensions of educators that were involved in this tragedy that took place, educators that did not provide sufficient support and safeguards to ensure that the 90 learners that went on that school excursion were fully supervised and also in a safe environment at all times.